Power. It's not something someone gives you, it's something you take. And when you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you don't even realize how much power you've handed over. Piece by piece, little by little, you gave them control over your emotions, your thoughts, your decisions, even how you see yourself. And now it's time to reclaim every single bit of it. Taking back your power isn't about revenge. It isn't about proving anything to them. It's about you. It's about waking up in the morning and deciding that you are no longer going to live under the shadow of their manipulation. It's about standing up and saying, I control my life now. Because here's the truth. As long as a narcissist has real estate in your mind, as long as you let them dictate your feelings, they still win. And we're not here to let them win anymore. Let's talk about how they took your power in the first place. It didn't happen all at once. No narcissist walks up and says, hey, I'm going to control you, manipulate you, and make you doubt yourself. No, they're smarter than that. They do it in small, calculated ways. Love bombing, gaslighting, guilt tripping, silent treatment, projection. It's a cycle, a game. And the worst part? You don't even realize you're playing until you're deep in it. At first, they made you feel special. They made you feel seen, like no one else had ever understood you the way they did. That's how they pulled you in. They created an illusion, a dream, something too good to be true. And when they knew they had you, that's when the slow erosion of your power began. Suddenly, things that once made you confident became things you questioned. The way you dressed, the way you spoke, the things you loved. Somehow they made you feel like they weren't good enough. Maybe they criticized you outright. Maybe they made little jokes that planted doubt in your mind. Maybe they gave you backhanded compliments like, you're really smart for someone who doesn't have a degree. Or, I love how you don't care what people think, even if it makes you seem weird. You laughed it off at first, but deep down, a seed of insecurity was planted. And then they started shifting blame onto you. Every argument became your fault. Every issue in the relationship was because of something you did or didn't do. And when you started standing up for yourself, that's when the gaslighting kicked in. I never said that. You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. Why do you always have to make things difficult? Suddenly, you found yourself questioning your own reality. Maybe they were right. Maybe you were too sensitive. Maybe you were overreacting. And little by little, you learned to shrink yourself just to keep the peace. That's how they took your power. But now, it's time to take it back. The first step, awareness. You have to see the game for what it is. You have to recognize that none of this was love. It was control, manipulation, a way for them to feed their own fragile ego. They didn't lift you up, they kept you small so they could feel bigger. Once you recognize that, the next step is breaking free from their influence. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Because even if you've already left, they can still have power over you if you keep replaying the past. If you keep wondering if they'll change. If you keep waiting for them to acknowledge what they did to you. They won't. So stop looking for closure. Stop waiting for an apology. Stop hoping they'll realize what they lost. That's their journey, not yours. The moment you accept that, you take back control of your healing. Then comes the most important part, rebuilding yourself. You see, a narcissist's biggest fear is someone who doesn't need them. They want to be the center of your world, your source of validation. The moment you validate yourself, the moment you find confidence without them, they lose their grip on you completely. So ask yourself, who were you before them? Who were you before they made you doubt yourself? What did you love? What made you feel alive? It's time to reconnect with that version of yourself. Start small. Maybe it's picking up an old hobby they made fun of. Maybe it's dressing the way you love without worrying about their comments. Maybe it's just looking in the mirror and saying, I am enough. Because you are, and then expand. Build a life that's so strong, so fulfilling, so full of purpose that they become irrelevant. Not because you're trying to make them jealous, not because you want them to regret losing you, but because you finally see your worth and their opinion no longer matters. That is real power. Silence. It's the one thing a narcissist can't stand. They thrive on attention, on reactions, on the knowledge that they still have an impact on you. To them, any response is a victory. It doesn't matter if you're loving them, arguing with them, crying over them, or hating them. As long as you're reacting, they know they still have control. Think about it. How many times did they push your buttons just to see how you'd respond? How many times did they pick a fight out of nowhere, twist your words, turn things around just to keep you engaged? It wasn't an accident. It was strategy. A narcissist craves attention the way a fire craves oxygen. And every time you engage, whether it's defending yourself, explaining yourself, begging for understanding, or even cursing them out, you're feeding the fire. You're giving them exactly what they want. That's why silence is your most powerful weapon. At first, it might feel impossible. You might feel the urge to explain yourself one last time, to prove them wrong, to get them to see the truth. But let's be honest. Has that ever worked? Have they ever truly listened? Have they ever taken accountability? No. Because a narcissist isn't looking for resolution. They're looking for control. They want to keep you tangled in their web, confused and emotionally drained, always questioning yourself, always trying to fix things that were never meant to be fixed. The moment you go silent, you break that cycle. You take away their power. Silence isn't just not speaking to them. It's much deeper than that. It's emotional silence. It's psychological detachment. It's the complete withdrawal of energy. Because even if you're not talking to them, if you're still stalking their social media, still wondering what they're doing, still hoping they'll reach out, they still have you. True silence means cutting off their supply in every way possible. It means no texts, no phone calls, no late night just checking in messages. It means no responding when they try to bait you, because they will try. They will send you messages designed to provoke a response. Maybe they'll act like they've changed. Maybe they'll act like the victim. Maybe they'll send you an angry text, hoping to trigger your need to defend yourself. Ignore it all. Silence also means blocking them. Not to be petty, but to protect your peace. It means removing them from your social media, not because you're trying to win, but because you refuse to give them access to your life. A narcissist loves to play the game of watching you, lurking in the background, seeing if they still affect you. Take that power away. And silence isn't just about them, it's about you. It's about quieting the voice in your head that still seeks their approval, that still wonders if they'll ever change. It's about shutting down the false hope that keeps you stuck in the cycle. Because deep down, part of you might still be waiting for that moment when they finally realize what they did, when they finally see your worth, when they finally regret losing you. And let go of that. The narcissist will not have an epiphany. They will not wake up one day and become a different person. They will not give you the closure you want, and as long as you keep waiting for that, you are still letting them dictate your emotions. Silence is about reclaiming your mental space. It's about choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, self-respect over self-sacrifice. It's about refusing to let them live rent-free in your mind any longer. At first, they won't accept your silence. They will test your boundaries, try different tactics, do whatever it takes to get a reaction. They will try to make you feel guilty, accuse you of being heartless, call you selfish. Why? Because your silence means they're losing control. And that terrifies them. They might even try to hoover you back in, apologizing, pretending to have changed, saying everything you've always wanted to hear. But if you give in, if you respond, you restart the cycle. And the moment they know they can still get a reaction from you, they will continue to manipulate you over and over again. Silence is how you break free. It's how you reclaim your energy, your power, your self-worth. And the best part, it forces them to face the one thing they fear the most, their own insignificance. The best revenge isn't anger. It isn't proving them wrong. It isn't even making them regret losing you. The best revenge is becoming the version of yourself they never wanted you to be. Strong, independent, successful, and completely unbothered by them. A narcissist thrives on control. They want to be the center of your world, the reason you smile, the reason you cry. They want to know that their words, their actions, and their absence still affect you. If they can no longer manipulate your emotions, they lose their power. So how do you truly make a narcissist regret everything? You level up your life in ways they never expected. Step 1, rebuild your confidence. One of the biggest weapons a narcissist uses against you is self-doubt. They chip away at your confidence with constant criticism, backhanded compliments, and mind games that make you question yourself. Maybe they made you feel like you weren't smart enough, attractive enough, talented enough, or capable enough to succeed without them. That was a lie. Now is the time to rebuild the confidence they tried to destroy. Start by reminding yourself of your strengths. What were you passionate about before they came into your life? What made you feel alive? What dreams did you put on hold because they convinced you they weren't possible? Write them down, own them, and then start working toward them step by step. Step 2, invest in yourself. When you are with the narcissist, you probably spent a lot of time and energy trying to meet their needs, walking on eggshells and worrying about their moods. Now, all of that energy belongs to you. Invest in yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Physically, take care of your body. Exercise, eat well, get enough sleep. Not because you want to prove anything to them, but because you deserve to feel strong and healthy. Mentally, read books that inspire you. Listen to podcasts that empower you. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Replace the negative thoughts they planted in your mind with new, powerful beliefs about yourself. Emotionally, heal. Go to therapy if needed. Practice self-care. Write in a journal. Meditate. Do whatever it takes to clear their toxic energy from your life and replace it with peace. Financially, if they made you feel dependent on them, prove to yourself that you can build your own stability. Get that promotion. Start that business. Save money. Create a future where you never have to rely on anyone who doesn't truly value you. Step 3, create a life they can't touch. A narcissist wants to believe that you'll never find happiness without them. They expect you to stay broken, bitter, or stuck in the past. Prove them wrong, not by telling them, but by showing them through your actions. Travel to new places. Experience things you never thought you could. And take up hobbies they dismissed or discouraged. Build new friendships with people who genuinely support you. Set new goals and crush them, one by one. Every step you take forward is another reminder that they were never as important as they believed they were. Step 4, master the art of indifference. Nothing shakes a narcissist more than realizing they no longer have an effect on you. If they reach out, if they try to bait you into reacting, if they attempt to stir up drama, stay unbothered. If they see you thriving and try to pull you back into their games, ignore them. If they send messages to get a reaction, don't respond. If they try to make you jealous, don't even acknowledge it. Indifference is more powerful than hate. Hate still gives them attention. Indifference shows them they're completely irrelevant. Step 5, make your life so good that their absence feels like a blessing. Think about it. Why would you waste energy trying to make them regret losing you when you could use that energy to create a life that makes you happy? When you focus on leveling up, when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the narcissist's opinion becomes meaningless. Because at the end of the day, their regret isn't the goal. Your happiness is. A narcissist doesn't just manipulate your emotions. They manipulate the story. They twist reality, shift blame, and make sure they come out looking like the victim while you are left questioning everything. They rewrite the past to fit their agenda, making you feel like you were always the problem. Now it's time to take back control of your own story. Step 1, recognize the false narrative. One of the most dangerous weapons in a narcissist's arsenal is their ability to make you doubt yourself. They gaslight, manipulate, and distort the truth until you're left wondering if you were the toxic one. Maybe they made you feel like you were too emotional, too needy, or too sensitive. Maybe they convinced you that no one else would love you the way they did. Maybe they played the victim, making you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. But here's the truth, none of that was real. The way they treated you was not a reflection of your worth, it was a reflection of their own brokenness. The things they said about you were not facts, they were tactics designed to control you. Recognizing this is the first step to rewriting your own narrative. Step 2, reclaim your identity. Who were you before they entered your life? What kind of person were you before their manipulation made you question yourself? A narcissist works hard to strip you of your identity. They make you feel small so they can feel powerful. They make you doubt yourself so you rely on them for validation. Over time, you might have stopped doing the things you loved, stopped expressing yourself fully, and stopped believing in your own capabilities. Now is the time to reclaim everything they tried to take from you. Rebuild your confidence. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a best friend. Replace the lies they told you with truths about your strength and worth. Reconnect with your passions. What hobbies, dreams, or interests did you put aside because of them? Pick them back up. Let yourself rediscover joy. Set new goals. A narcissist wants you to feel like you need them. Prove to yourself that you never did. Create a vision for your life that is entirely yours. One that they have no place in. Step 3, stop playing the role they assigned you. A narcissist wants to cast you in a role that benefits them. Maybe they made you the crazy ex, the clingy partner, the difficult one, or the selfish one. Maybe they spread lies about you to others, painting themselves as the victim while making you look like the villain. But here's the truth. You don't have to accept their version of the story. You are not crazy. You had real emotions, real reactions to real mistreatment. You were not too much. They were incapable of handling healthy emotions. You were not the problem. They created the chaos and then blamed you for reacting to it. You get to decide who you are, how you define yourself, and what story you live by. Their perception of you is none of your business. Step 4, stop seeking their validation. One of the hardest things to accept is that a narcissist will never truly see your worth. They will never give you the closure you deserve. They will never apologize in a way that is genuine. But you don't need them to. You don't need their validation to know you are valuable. You don't need their apology to move forward. You don't need them to admit they were wrong in order to heal. Waiting for them to recognize your worth is like waiting for a storm to apologize for raining. It won't happen. And even if it did, it wouldn't change anything. Your healing does not depend on them. It depends on you. Step 5, rewrite your story. You have two choices. You can live in the version of the story the narcissist created, or you can write a new one. A story where you are not a victim, but a survivor. A story where you are not broken, but rebuilt stronger than ever. A story where their absence is not a loss, but a gift of freedom. They no longer get to define you. They no longer get to dictate how you see yourself. You are in control now, and that is the one thing they never wanted. A narcissist's biggest fear is losing control over you. They need to know that no matter how much time has passed, they can still get a reaction from you. They need to believe that they are still important, still powerful, still lingering in your thoughts. But the ultimate way to make a narcissist regret everything, become completely unreachable, physically, emotionally, mentally, and energetically. A narcissist doesn't just feed off your attention, they feed off your energy. The anger, the sadness, the frustration, the obsession, the hope. It all fuels them. They don't care if you love them or hate them, as long as they know they still exist in your mind. Now, it's time to starve them. Step 1, cut off all access. The first and most obvious step to becoming unreachable is going no contact. This means blocking them on all social media platforms, changing your phone number if necessary, ignoring their emails, texts, and calls, no matter how tempting it is to respond, cutting off mutual connections who act as informants or flying monkeys. A narcissist will test your boundaries. They will try to contact you in different ways, using different tactics. Maybe they'll reach out with fake concern. I just wanted to check on you. Maybe they'll send a manipulative apology. I realize now what I did wrong. Maybe they'll try to make you jealous, posting pictures of a new love just to see if you react. None of it matters. Do not respond. Engaging in any way, even just to curse them out or tell them off, keeps the door open. It tells them they still have access to you. It tells them they still have power. Don't give them that satisfaction. Step 2, heal in private. One mistake people make after leaving a narcissist is publicly showing their pain. They post about their struggles. They rant about what the narcissist did to them. They try to expose the truth. But here's the thing, a narcissist loves that. They want to know you're still thinking about them. They want to know they still affect you. They want to see you struggle without them. Don't give them that. Heal in silence. Instead of posting about your pain, write in a journal. Instead of venting on social media, talk to a trusted friend or therapist. Instead of reacting to their games, move in complete secrecy. Let them wonder where you went. Let them sit in the silence of your absence. Let them question if they ever really had control over you in the first place. Step 3, remove their ability to trigger you. Even after you cut off all contact, a narcissist can still live in your mind. Their voice might still echo in your head. Their words might still haunt you. That's where the real work begins. Because becoming unreachable isn't just about blocking them. It's about removing their emotional grip on you. Break the trauma bond. Understand that the highs and lows they created were a form of manipulation, not real love. Stop replaying the past. Ruminating over what happened only keeps you trapped in their energy. Reprogram your thoughts. Replace every negative belief they planted in your mind with new, empowering truths. A narcissist's greatest power is the way they make you feel about yourself. Take that power back by rebuilding your self-worth from the inside out. Step 4, build a life they no longer recognize. A narcissist wants you stuck in the past. They want you to feel broken without them. They want you to believe you can't thrive without them. Prove them wrong, not with words, but with actions. Change your routine. Try new activities, visit new places, meet new people. Elevate your appearance, not for them, but for you. Wear what makes you feel powerful. Move with confidence. Own your presence. Pursue new goals. Whether it's a new job, a new skill, or a personal achievement, become the person they never expected you to be. When they look back, they won't even recognize the person they once tried to control. That is their biggest regret. Step 5, radiate a different energy. The final step to becoming completely unreachable, mastering your energy. A narcissist operates on fear, doubt, and insecurity. They prey on people who question their worth, who seek validation, who live in reaction mode. But when you step into your power, when you walk into a room with confidence, when you no longer care about their opinion, when you live from a place of certainty, you become untouchable. This is where true freedom begins. When you stop trying to prove anything, when you stop waiting for karma to handle them, when you stop hoping they regret losing you, because the real win isn't making them regret you. It's not needing them to regret you at all. A narcissist's worst nightmare is seeing you rise beyond their reach, stronger, happier, and more fulfilled than ever. They counted on breaking you, on keeping you trapped in self-doubt, on making you feel like you needed them. But when you become the best version of yourself, you shatter that illusion completely. You prove, not to them, but to yourself, that they were never the source of your worth, your happiness, or your success. The final and most powerful step in making a narcissist regret everything is becoming someone they can no longer affect, influence, or control. You don't just move on, you transform. You evolve into a person so radiant, so confident, so deeply fulfilled that their presence or absence becomes irrelevant. Step 1, redefine your identity. A narcissist doesn't just manipulate your emotions. They manipulate your sense of self. They wanted you to see yourself through their distorted lens. Maybe they convinced you that you weren't good enough, that you weren't lovable, that you weren't capable of thriving without them. Now it's time to take back your identity. Who are you outside of their influence? Strip away the false beliefs they planted in your mind and reconnect with your true self. What do you want for your life? Not what they wanted for you, not what they convinced you was possible. What do you truly desire? What kind of person do you want to be? Imagine the strongest, happiest, most successful version of yourself. That person is already within you, waiting to emerge. Your future is yours to define. The story you tell yourself about who you are shapes your reality. Choose a narrative that empowers you, not one that keeps you stuck in the past. Step 2, elevate your mindset. A narcissist thrives on fear, doubt, and insecurity. They want you second-guessing yourself, living in reaction mode, constantly seeking validation. When you shift your mindset, when you start thinking and operating on a higher frequency, they lose all power over you. Adopt a growth mindset. Instead of dwelling on the pain, see it as the lesson that propelled you forward. Let go of victimhood. You are not what they did to you. You are what you do next. Reprogram your beliefs. Every time their voice echoes in your mind, replace it with a more empowering thought. If they made you feel small, remind yourself, I am limitless. If they made you feel unworthy, say, I am enough. Your thoughts shape your reality. Elevate your mindset, and you elevate your entire life. Step 3, take your power back. A narcissist's power over you exists only as long as you give it to them. When you reclaim your personal power, they become nothing more than a shadow in your past. How do you take your power back? By controlling your emotions. A narcissist wants to trigger you, to get a reaction, to keep you emotionally invested. When you master emotional control, you become unshakable by setting boundaries and enforcing them. Boundaries aren't just about blocking them. They're about choosing what you will and will not tolerate in your life from anyone by focusing on yourself, not them. Every moment spent thinking about them is energy wasted. Redirect that energy into building yourself up. True power isn't about revenge. It's about freedom. Freedom from their influence, freedom from the past, freedom to create the life you deserve. Step 4, build an extraordinary life. A narcissist never wanted you to thrive without them. They wanted you to struggle, to miss them, to believe that you needed them to be whole. Prove them wrong, not with words, not with anger, but with the undeniable evidence of your success, your joy, your unstoppable momentum. Pursue your passions with full force. Do the things they discouraged. Follow the dreams they dismissed. Create a life that is completely, unapologetically yours. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. A narcissist isolates you, makes you feel alone. Now, you get to build a new circle, one filled with people who genuinely support and celebrate you. Prioritize your well-being. Take care of your mind, body, and spirit. Work out, eat well, meditate, do whatever makes you feel your absolute best. The more you invest in yourself, the less significant they become. They fade into irrelevance while you rise into your greatness. Step 5, radiate unbothered energy. Nothing unsettles a narcissist more than seeing you completely unaffected by them. If they try to provoke you, you don't react. If they spread lies about you, you don't care. If they try to come back, you don't even entertain the thought. You've outgrown them. You've elevated beyond their reach. And when they realize that nothing they do can touch you anymore, that's when the regret sets in. Not because they've changed, not because they suddenly appreciate you, but because they've lost control. When you become the best version of yourself, they no longer exist in your world.